Welcome back, everyone, to my weekly Dragon Oracle card series. The Dragon card for this week, the week of September 14th, 2025, is QUAN YIN'S Pink Dragons. QUAN YIN'S Pink Dragons. So these dragons help to bring a firm love that helps to reset our karmic balance. They are also here to help us dissolve cords, energy cords, with transcendent love. And with freedom from these cords, we are then able to look for and identify, recognize the divinity that's all around us, as well as the divinity that is within us. And the spiritual cords are actually unseen strands that connect our etheric body to other things, other people, places, animals, plants, nature, things around us. And these cords, these strands, they allow for information. They're an information pathway for energy and emotions to flow between us as individuals, between us and what we are connected to, again, either nature, animals, other people, things around us in our immediate environment. Cords can be, these strands can be beneficial, like in family relationships, parent to child, sibling to sibling, in partnered relationships, animals that you might have in your family as pets. Cords can also, though, be draining if you are connected in this way to a situation or circumstance that is no longer in alignment with you, that is no longer serving you. And in this card, Kuan Yin is known as the goddess of mercy and compassion. She's an enlightened being who actually postponed her own enlightenment to help alleviate the suffering of all others. So how amazing is that, that she and her dragons are showing up for us now on our journeys. So she's often depicted as a graceful, serene female figure symbolizing maternal compassion. And she is a significant figure in Buddhist meditation and spiritual practices. Her image does serve as a focal point for cultivating inner peace, empathy, and forgiveness. So amazing, right? So the biggest impression that was coming through as I pulled this card is this is definitely related to how much energy we expend when we get hyper focused on the being invested in the outcome of our choices and decisions and behaviors. When we are really hyper focused on that, a couple of things happen. One thing is we begin to create conditions that we feel are going to help control that desired outcome. So we begin defining what is the quote-unquote right or wrong way to get to that desired outcome. For example, I want to make a good impression on the people that I'm interviewing for a job for. So I'm making a choice and a decision to wear a particular type of clothing, to wear my hair in a particular kind of way. A side story that I'll put in this here is when I started growing my dreadlocks, my dad actually said, you know, I really like it, but when are you going to get a real hairstyle? So his comment was from the perspective of being invested on my behalf in the outcome of what my hairstyle, the impact that my hairstyle might have on, you know, the impression that I make on others in my work environment. So we create these conditions when we are super hyper focused and hyper invested in the outcomes of our choices and decisions. The other thing that happens is a lot of our energy ends up being in that future hypothetical circumstance or situation. Now, this is a natural kind of way to think through things, right? We want to think about what we're doing as having an impact on others, and we want to be able to do this in a balanced and aligned way, which is fine. What I'm speaking on, what the message is coming through in this card, is when it becomes all-encompassing to where we can't really see any other outcome or possibility. So when we're expending so much energy in that future hypothetical, a lot of our energy gets misplaced and out of alignment in that future hypothetical circumstance or situation, and we are no longer able to be grounded in the present moment and present time. So what happens when that occurs? Sometimes even if we're thinking a lot about, maybe even our choices and decisions are based on the past experiences that we've had. Well, when this happened in this way, or when I did this in this particular way, I had an outcome that wasn't really favorable. So I want to be able to shift that outcome. Natural way of thinking. But when we get stuck there, when we're so focused on that past or that future hypothetical, on the outcome, that potential outcome, we can't be in that present moment. Where do we get our biggest strength as spirit? Having human experiences, being present, being aligned in the here and now. When we are able to do that, we actually are able to react and respond to what is being presented to us in the present moment, rather than reacting and responding to something that hasn't even happened yet. So when we are grounded in the present moment, in this present time, on this day, September 14th, 2025, or whatever day you're listening to or watching this video, we get to have all of our energy brought back into this present moment. Pull our energy from the past into this present moment. Pull our energy from the future back into this present moment. Have all of us grounded into the now, so that we can look at what is before us in this moment and in this time and react and respond accordingly. So this is the biggest impression, the biggest message coming through from the QUAN YIN'S Pink Dragons. So the other part of this process is taking a look at a symbol, and I will do that in just a moment. What I've been doing with this series is offering to do reading and healing for you relative to the message that's come through, the card that's pulled. In this case today, for this week, is QUAN YIN'S Pink Dragons. But I can do a reading for you on any of the other cards that have come through to this point. And if you reach out to me this week, I will offer you a discount on that reading, and we can schedule it for any time at all. So now I'm actually going to pause the recording and take a look at a symbol. Remember, symbols are, in my practice, the way I was taught, they are a technique that you can use to take a look at energy that you might want to move out of your energy field, something that's no longer in alignment, so that your energy can flow more smoothly and in harmony with you. Symbols can also come through as affirmations as well, just a snapshot from the spirit world, from the dragon world, of what is currently present going on energetically for us. So I'm going to pause the recording now, and I'll take a look at that symbol, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. So the symbol that came through was the that Italian gondola, those boats that are steered by the person that's standing up with the big stick, and it's steering it down the river. So that long, narrow, flat-bottomed boat with the high stern and being steered by the gondolier. So when this symbol came through, I was like, really, Spirit, really, dragons? That seemed kind of obvious to me. And that was my mind getting in the way of the message. And Spirit was like, exactly, that's the point. So when you have such a strong, specific connotation to a particular thing, a particular image, in this case, that idyllic scene of what love is supposed to kind of look like, then that is letting you know that you're actually probably creating a lot of conditions that are limiting your interpretation of what that is. So in this case, we're talking about love and transcendent love. So here's, where the limitations are in that. How many of us actually live in Italy? How many of us, actually live by a river where we have somebody that can help steer us down the river, and we're in that boat with our partner and making goo eyes at each other and all that stuff. That's a very, very narrow, specific definition of love, the expression of love. And that is the point that Spirit is making. When we have that much of a finite, conditioned definition for something, it excludes all of that expansive possibility. And transcendent love comes from that place of no conditions. Transcendent love comes from that state of being love, not being in love, not the act of love, but being love. So as spirits having human experiences without our human bodies, this is the state, that energetic state that we are in before we are incarnated. So the goal here is, as we are having these human experiences, is how do we move through our lives in that state of love. So when I am in that state of love as an expressive way of being, I may say to someone, I love you, but I am not invested in the outcome. My humanness might want or expect that person to say that same thing back to me, because I'm invested in the outcome of me making that statement, making that expression of love, that limited expression of love. But when I'm not invested in the outcome, I can say that to this person or anyone in that context, and it doesn't matter what they say or do, because I am being an expression of love. Being an expression of love rather than expressing a limited notion of what I think love means. So this is a big one to kind of wrap our minds around, because as we grow up, we are nurtured into belief systems and notions and definitions of things, which it makes sense. It makes sense to have structure. It makes sense to have ways of thinking that help to make sense of the world. But as we ascend, as we are moving through and into this new golden age where humanity is ascending, our vibrational frequency is rising. And as our vibrational frequency rises, those lower vibrational frequencies of conditions, preconceptions, inherent biases, those lower vibrational frequency energies are not sustainable. They're getting stirred up. So this is an opportunity where the QUAN YIN'S Pink Dragons are recognizing this, and they're saying, hey, here's an opportunity where we can support dissolving some of these cords that are attached to these conditions, right? So let's welcome them in. Let's let them help us. So I did clear and heal this symbol for us. And again, for all of us that will be watching this video at any point in time in the future, remember that simply with your intention, you can bring your energy into the present moment by simply stating that here I am in this present moment on this day, September 14th, 2025, in any kind of wording that works for you, that feels aligned for you. Sometimes you can also include your age in that present timing. That's what my teachings and learnings have named that practice, present timing. And that allows your energy field, your higher self, to be like, oh yeah, we are right here in this moment. I'm not in that hypothetical future situation. I'm not in that past circumstance that has certainly influenced my choices and decisions now going forward, but I'm not actually in that circumstance right now. So I can bring my energy into the present moment with that. So these are the messages that have come through for this week from the beautiful dragons, QUAN YIN'S beautiful pink dragons, with their compassion and empathy. They are helping us to let go of and dissolve those corded connections that are causing us to maybe be a little bit hyper-focused on the outcomes of things, helping us to let go of feeling that need to be so invested in the outcome of things that we lose sight of being in that present moment. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time.